Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. Any regular listener of this program knows how much of a fan I am of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. I've been involved with them for years and love the members, love the people that they bring on, and today is no exception. I'm going to spend some time talking about an academy out there that is called Fusion Academy here in Houston, an accredited non-traditional private school for grades 6 through 12. And they are now new members of the Houston West Chamber of Commerce. And Rebecca Lazarou is our guest representing the school. How are you, Rebecca?
I'm great, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the school.
Well, Fusion Academy actually just opened in Houston, although we've been around for over 25 years, starting in California. And we're now in California, New York, New Jersey, and just entered the Texas market early fall of 2014. We're a revolutionary one-to-one school, which is one teacher, one student for every single class that the student attends.
Wow, that is revolutionary.
Yes.
Is it meant really for kids? What's the idea behind it? Let me have no assumptions going into it. What's the idea behind that?
Well, really, our student population is one that perhaps didn't fit into the traditional school, the traditional environment. So that could mean a number of things. Students with maybe needs for flexibility in scheduling for arts or athletics, or it could mean a student that has learning differences that just needs that extra attention in the classroom and not having to vie or compete for attention with a classroom full of 30 students. We also have a full recording art studio with Pro Tools, editing software, mixed media art room, so we do a lot of focus on arts for expression for the students.
I see the school goes from 6 to 12. Is that indicative of the fact that it takes a while maybe for our parents to realize they need a school like yours? And is that why you start at 6 rather than at K through 12 or 1st through 12?
Yes, usually the elementary age, for instance, they're not as involved in an athletic or an artistic where they need a lot of extra time outside of school. And also learning difference usually don't manifest until a little later in their elementary years, and so that's whenever they realize that they need to look for a non-traditional environment for their student or their child.
Yeah. So you said it's over 2 decades old. Kind of give us a history of the story of it, itself.
Okay, so it started in Solana Beach, California, and Michelle Rose Gilman, our founder, she actually she's the brainchild behind it and realized whenever she was working with students that in a tutoring capacity that that one-to-one and that relationship building was so powerful that it needed to go beyond just a tutoring environment, and so it turned into an actual school. And over the years, it's developed into what we know Fusion today. We focus a lot on the mentoring and the coaching with the students. That one-to-one connection, you can imagine, is so powerful to really bring a lot out of the students. And so we believe in loving first on them, which is very different from a lot of the other educational institutions. We believe on loving on them, and then the motivation comes and the teaching just falls into place. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of her philosophy over 25 years ago. She's still an integral part of the vision and every single campus that opens, making sure that we're still staying true to that.
Very interesting. So it seems like to me a approach like this would obviously be much more expensive than traditional private schools. Can you kind of talk a little bit? Obviously, there's probably some variance based on factors, but kind of give us a sense of how that works.
Well, we know that in a lot of private school situations, generally there has to be like tutoring involved in order for success, or also the fact that homework could go into 3-4 hours at night. We actually take the home out of homework, and we have them complete all of their independent practice and homework on campus. So when they leave us, they don't have to worry about having a tutor with them in order to complete homework, and we're not putting the pressure on the parents to reteach things that happen during the school day. In saying that, we're pretty much an all-encompassing price, and that we don't have lab fees or uniform fees or annual giving or anything like that. We're pretty much just one check that you pay, and you pay per course per semester. And with that, it's very much like the university model. So you can take a couple classes, or you can take a full load of classes with us. And it just depends on if you're middle school, high school, and what tracks you're going to be on.
So that's interesting. And I'm assuming that your students do extremely well. I wouldn't be surprised if some of your students, though, are in the homeschool community and it just reached a point in certain disciplines that they needed more help, and you kind of augment that. Is that true?
Absolutely, we can do that because we have class for credit. You know, there's some homeschool families that may not want to do a dissection in their kitchen. So we give them an opportunity to come to our facility, use our full science lab, and receive credit for some of the lab sciences, actually any class that they'd like to. But we also do tutoring and mentoring. So that goes from first grade to whatever grade as well.
Well, that's fantastic. That's awesome. And when did you officially start?
We started February 2nd.
So, I mean, this is your first semester here.
Correct.
And you're in the Galleria area.
We are in the Galleria Financial Center on the 8th floor.
What percentage of your students actually do a full day load, of courses like they would at a traditional school?
Actually, that's the majority of our students. It's interesting. They start sometimes just slowly, but already they're anxious to be here every day because it's such a family vibe. And once you take that home out of homework, it's amazing how the parents and the students alike are just like, oh, yay, we can now actually have a life outside of school, and it's not dictating every piece of their day.
So I'm looking online, and I see standard middle school course. Is that a single class?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And so in a full load, what would be a normal number of classes or courses?
About 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Well, I think the listener ought to check out Fusion Academy. That's fusionacademy.com. I think they'd find it very interesting. I think particularly if they got any special challenges going on with their young person, I bet this is a very outstanding way to help kids become overachievers. I'm sure you've got lots of stories of kids who've gone on to do very well in college as a result of this approach.
Absolutely, and because it's so customizable and individualized and flexible, we can definitely accommodate even students who are professional tennis players, actresses, ballerinas to accommodate their schedule as well.
Well, I love the folks over there at Houston West Chamber of Commerce. That's hwcoc.org, and I'm really am grateful to be introduced to the folks at Fusion Academy. That's Fusion, just like it sounds, like nuclear fusion, fusionacademy.com. That's fusionacademy.com. Rebecca, I appreciate it very much. And that's Rebecca Lazarou, and fusionacademy.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You bet. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and this is The Price of Business.